How often do we let fleeting thoughts shape the course of our lives? This is the story of a young man, his moment of temptation, and the lesson that thoughts, if unchecked, can lead us astray or guide us toward greatness. In the quiet village of Arahuna, there lived a young man named Kale, known for his honesty and hard work. Life hadn't been easy for Kale, but he had always held his head high, priding himself on living an upright life. Despite his struggles, Kale believed in earning his way fairly and never betraying anyone's trust. One evening, as Kale was returning home after another long day of labor, his shoulders weighed down with disappointment about the lack of work, he heard a voice calling out from behind. "Excuse me, young man," said an elderly traveler with a kind yet tired expression. The man, who introduced himself as Elder Thalos, wore simple but well-kept robes and carried two large, heavy bags on his shoulders. "I am traveling to the village of Viridia, a fair distance from here. I can manage these two bags, but this third one is far too heavy for me," the elder said, pointing to a bag on the ground. "If you carry it for me, I will pay you 3 silver coins." Kale looked at the bag skeptically. It was large and clearly heavy. "What's in the bag?" he asked. Thalos whispered, "It contains bronze coins. That's why it is so heavy." Despite the weight, Kale agreed. "I'll do it," he said, lifting the bag onto his shoulder. "But this is heavier than it looks," Kale remarked as they began walking. As they walked, Kale noticed something strange. Thalos kept glancing at him, as if studying him or watching his every move. This made Kale uneasy, and a thought crept into his mind. Does he think I'll steal the bag and run away? But Kale quickly dismissed the thought. "I'm not a thief. I don't need to prove my honesty. My work and character speak for themselves." After walking some distance, they reached a river. The current wasn't too strong, but crossing it would still be a challenge. Thalos hesitated at the riverbank. "I'm too old to manage crossing this river with 2 bags," he admitted. "Can you carry 1 more bag for me? Don't worry, I'll pay you 3 more silver coins for your trouble." Kale hesitated, but then agreed. "You don't need to worry about me running off. I value honesty above all else," he said firmly, picking up the second bag. "This one contains silver coins," Thalos said softly. Kale crossed the river, his body strained under the weight of the 2 heavy bags, but his determination kept him going. On the other side, he set the bags down and waited for Thalos to follow. After some time, they approached a steep hill. Once again, Thalos stopped. "I can't climb this hill with my bag," he said, his voice filled with hesitation. "This one contains gold coins, and if you run away with it, I won't be able to stop you." Kale, slightly annoyed, replied, "I've carried your bags this far. I am not a thief. Trust me." Reluctantly, Thalos handed him the 3rd bag. "I'll follow behind at my own pace," he said. Kale hoisted the bag onto his back and began climbing the hill. As he walked, a dangerous thought began to creep into his mind. "If I run away with these 3 bags, Thalos won't be able to catch me. I'll be rich beyond imagination." The thought grew louder. What would an old man like him do with so much money? "I'm young. I can use it to build a better life. I can buy land, marry a beautiful woman, and live in comfort." Finally, temptation overcame him. Kale began to run, his heart racing as fast as his feet. He didn't look back, ignoring the faint call of Thalos's voice in the distance. When Kale reached his home, he shut the door, heart pounding with excitement. He placed the 3 bags on the floor and opened them one by one, but his excitement turned to shock. Inside the bags were no coins, only small stones. At the top of one bag was a piece of parchment. Kale opened it and read the message written in elegant handwriting. "I am King Alden of this land. I have been searching for a successor to my throne, someone who values honesty and integrity above all else. You were being tested. Had you carried these bags to the end, you would have been adopted as my heir. But greed has shown your true nature. What you could have gained, you have now lost forever." Kale's knees buckled as he fell to the ground, the weight of his regret crushing him. His lapse in judgment, spurred by fleeting thoughts of greed, had cost him the opportunity of a lifetime. Lesson. This story of Kale and Elder Thalos is a powerful reminder of the influence our thoughts have on our destiny. Cale, a man known for his honesty, allowed a single moment of temptation to override his principles, leading him to a decision he would regret forever.